In 1993, the 3DO was released into the world. The brainchild of Trip Hawkins, founder of Electronic Arts, the 3DO, which was designed by the 3DO company, was a hardware platform designed to be licensed out to various manufacturers such as Panasonic, Gold Star, and other electronics manufacturers. Initially conceived as the ultimate multimedia platform, the 3DO was seen by many as merely another console. However, Trip Hawkins had bigger and bolder plans for the hardware. As you can see when you actually look in depth at the specifications, the intent was never just to be a games console. The 3DO unfortunately did suffer when it came to market due to a high price, not only because of its incredibly expensive custom hardware design, but the fact that the 3DO model itself meant that there was no licensing fees paid for software or hardware. Now, the first model released onto the market is the one you can see on screen here, the Panasonic FZ1 3DO Interactive Real Multiplayer. All 3DO models that subsequently followed used the same core hardware, just making alterations to either the case design or even simplifying the motherboards, which we're going to look at in a second. As I said, this is an incredibly powerful piece of kit and used some really good hardware for the time. So, let's have a quick look at the motherboard. First up, this motherboard contains a 32-bit RISC ARM60 CPU which runs at 12.5 MHz. This is paired with a customised maths coprocessor which bypasses ARM's own maths processing unit. The CPU also has 32K of SRAM attached to it. Now, the graphics output gives you a resolution of 640 by 480i, which is internally upscaled from 320 by 240 at 60Hz for an NTSC display, and a display of 768 by 576i, upscaled again internally from 384 by 288 internally for a 50Hz PAL display, which can either use 16-bit palletized colour or 24-bit true colour. This graphical output was achieved by the use of two custom processors, the Clio and the Madam. Between them, the Clio and the Madam could produce between 9 and 16 million pixels per second, or 36 to 64 megapixels per second when interpolated through the scaler, and in turn all of this display could be distorted, scaled, rotated and texture mapped at the programmer's discretion. This was really good stuff for the time, although, as would become apparent within 18 months, not where the graphics market was headed at all. Now, the system was also an audio powerhouse, which was capable of 16-bit stereo sound. Could also do full stereo compact disc digital audio playback. It was able to produce sound samples at a 44.1 kHz sampling rate, and could even support Dolby surround sound across 4 separate channels. This was all powered by a custom 20-bit DSP, which was embedded into one of the graphics processors, the Clio chip. There were also 13 DMA channels of digital input available, which could be sampled and distorted in a custom manner by the DSP. All of this custom hardware sat on a system board which carried a 50 megabytes a second system speed with 36 DMA channels, 2 megs of main system RAM, 1 meg of video RAM and 2 expansion ports. Now, having 3 megabytes of RAM total sat on the system board was vastly more than the Sega Mega Drive or the Super Nintendo. Indeed, it was right up there towards what a lot of PC specs were being used with at the time, and it allowed for a great deal of versatility from the programmers should they choose to utilise it correctly. In terms of connectivity, the 3DO was very well specified as well. you could output through a standard RF output, much as you could with a SNES, a Mega Drive, etc. This was a pretty low quality output, but did provide compatibility with pretty much every TV on the market at the time. There was also, as you can see, a composite RCA output, which did give you a better picture quality and could be used on some older computer monitors for a really crisp image. And finally, all the models of the 3DO except for the Goldstar GDO101M had an S-video output, which gave by far the best image quality available should you happen to possess a television set which was capable of accepting an S-video output rather. Finally, all software for the system shipped on CD-ROMs, which was still relatively new and exciting at the time. All 3DO models came with a dual-speed CD-ROM drive, which could handle game discs, audio CDs, CD plus Gs, photo CDs, and, if you were wealthy enough to pay for it, video CDs with the add-on MPEG encoder. Incidentally, part of the CD-ROM system featured the first commercially available light synthesizer in a games console, which, upon the insertion of an audio CD, would create visual patterns on your TV screen in time with the music. So that was a look at the technology inside the 3DO console in a little bit more depth than I covered last time. It was a powerful piece of hardware, but unfortunately, thanks to the business model, it just was doomed to fail. Now, if you've enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe. If you want to leave a comment down below, feel free. I welcome any and all criticism that anybody wishes to level against the video. So, this is Rob. Until next time, saying, enjoy your games. Bye.